There's a law in relationships that's as real as gravity. When your nervous system goes up, your connection with others goes down.
The truth is, you can't fake the energy that you bring into a room with you. So that's why today we're going to look at how your nervous system may be sabotaging your relationships. That's something that we call relational physics.
And if you don't understand this, you're going to be destined to have the same fights over and over again.
Not just the fun ones.
What? Today we're going to show you how to break that cycle. Hello!
Hey, baby!
Relational physics.
We talk about relational physics because as we started to look through relationships through this lens of what draws us closer and what repels, but there's an energy present at all times when this is happening. And that's why we can have two people say the same thing and yet two different outcomes. One where there's greater connection, one where they're being moved apart. We have people who are sort of, in couples who are dumbfounded, like, I don't understand. I said the things you told me to say. But it's the energy behind what we say.
Yeah, so it's not just the words you're using,
No.
but it's the energy behind that, because your energy is speaking louder than your words. Even scientifically, they say that in communication, only like 6 or 7% or something like that is the word you're using. But the vast majority of your communication is not with your mouth. It's the whole vibration, the energy that's coming off of you that other people are responding to.
And that our nervous system is actually highly attuned to. And that's the thing. We have to appreciate the instrument of our nervous system that we have, and it will not go silent. So we need to work with it rather than trying to work around it or against it.
You can be repelling people with your energy even while your words might be saying, come here, come here, come here.
Then it's like I've walled up. I'm actually pushing outward and away.
Yeah.
And so if I bring that energy behind the nicest sounding words or ideas, you're still going to feel like moving away from me.
But in a practical sense, let's say that I am out getting groceries, and they'll line up the people hitting my ankle in the grocery cart, and the person behind me, and the cashier, and then maybe someone cuts me off on the way home and driving and negotiating the traffic. And so I have this buildup of energy, and then I come in the door and I say, can you help me with the groceries, please? The words are, can you come help me with the groceries, please?
Which might sound like a bid for connection.
But the energy that's overpowering, like just as a tidal wave over top of those words. And so when I'm asking for your help, it's my bid for connection to help me with the groceries.
And it's your bid, you might actually wanting, finally, can I get some connection? This has been such an awful experience and stressful experience. It would be nice to have some connection, some help, something nice to help change some relief to change my energy. So you may actually sincerely be wanting and needing that connection.
But what I'm presenting coming into the house is a whole barrage of energy and unprocessed emotions that I'm just dumping into the entranceway of our house.
That's right.
And so the key point is to understand, what is it that you are bringing into the interaction? What are you bringing into the room that is happening just prior to the event? Because we're never entering a room neutrally.
Oh my God. As you say that, it totally reminds me of the thing that I do that I know drives you and Wyatt a little nuts.
I won't stop you here. You go right ahead and tell us.
I have this habit of starting a conversation before I actually enter the room, before I turn the corner and enter the kitchen where I know Jeff and Wyatt will be sitting.
Yep.
I have no understanding of what they're doing. I don't know if they're in deep discussion.
Yeah, of what's happening in the room.
Nothing. All I'm aware of is what's happening in my world. And whatever it is, I just start unloading.
Unloading, that's a good word, unloading.
Yeah, my energy into the room.
And it's not an invitation to say, hey, I have something exciting, or hey, I have something stressful to share.
It's actually a dumping or a pushing. Actually, it's a good word.
Demand.
Yeah.
Take over the room.
Dominate the room. And you too will get pushed aside.
So then my nervous system
goes up.
Starts to go up. And now there's 2 people or 3 people in the kitchen now whose energy are rising. And so connection just goes.
Yeah. The idea of repelling isn't always it can be really innocent at times. We talk about it. Obviously, if you're argumentative, if you're critical, attacking, aggressive. Like it makes sense that nervous systems and people are going to back away.
Yeah, because it's very overt in behavior.
But in these cases, I might be in the most jovial and excited mood because what we're communicating also is that we're not present. When I do that, I am off in my own reality and own world, and I'm communicating to your nervous system, I'm not present. And to the nervous system, that's a threat, because who knows what they could do, because they don't see me. They just see their own agenda.
Yeah.
And that creates disconnection.
Another example that I have is, when you watch Western movies, the saloon doors open and people all turn to see who walked in. And if there's a gunslinger, and it doesn't matter if that's the marshal or it's the villain.
Right.
If there's someone walking through the saloon doors and they have guns on them, everyone sits up straight. Everyone pays attention, because no matter what side of the law they're on, someone is pro-violence there. And that's when people start moving the tables aside. They put their head down. They pick up their beer. They leave the saloon because they're like, I don't want
to connect with this person.
I don't want any part being engaged with the gunslinger energy.
That's so good. I'd like that. That's a great metaphor, because so many of us, as a learned defense mechanism, protection from when we're young, and energetically, it's in our behavior, it's in our energy, it's in our stance. And when we walk into a room, we bring that, and people feel that. And then you wonder,
the energy.
I didn't say anything. Why?
But I am a human being who interacts and engages in the act of some sort of violence. Once you turn your attention onto that, you can start to register and see, oh, that person is about war. They're about fighting energy. They start
the arguments.
There's a winner and there's going to be a loser. And I know I'm always going to be the loser in that interaction. So I'm just going to withdraw and just not engage, because I just don't want that power dynamic to happen.
Those are the people who have a strong attachment to their version of reality. They're going to fight you. And so it's that expression, do you want to be right or do you want to be in relationship? While you can end up being right, you're also going to be alone. Our nervous systems will not allow us to stay in relationships long term when it is on high alert a good amount of the time. So now that we're understanding this law of relational physics, the energy I bring in the room will either draw toward me connection or repel connection.
So when you're needing energy from another human being, step one is to verbally speak about what is the energy that you're of first, and then make that request.
I actually take the time to understand me. Understanding begins internally when I am clear on, this is what's happening with me. And then I also let them know what's happening inside of me. So I'll start with something like, do you have a second? I don't just interrupt.
It's a request, it's an ask, it's not a demand. Knowing that, whatever's happening in your body has its place in the household. It doesn't just come over top and take over.
And just because it happens doesn't mean it, and then it has to come out. That's where I get to regulate and own what's in me.
Okay, so that the invitation happens, yep.
And then after that, I will share with you. So I just want you to know, I'm coming into the room now with a bunch of energy about this particular topic.
Which is great, because then that part is taking ownership. The energy that's off in this room isn't coming from me, it's coming from you, and you're taking ownership for it. And part of that ownership means that now it's not my problem, not my responsibility, it's yours. And that's inviting me to connect with you to say, so how can I help?
Yeah, because I'm making it safe for you to know, I know what's happening and I'm in charge of me.
And that makes it safe for me then to engage. Then that bid for connection gets connection.
That's exactly it.
Not defensiveness on my part. You're actually going to get the energy that you actually are requesting of us. The warmth, the compassion, the understanding, the patience that you're wanting. There's not a lack of awareness of where the ungrounded energy is coming from.
I am in charge of the relationship I want to have. There's so much I can do within my own realm, within me, to create the relationship I've been seeking out my whole life.
And so that becomes like a nice physics experiment. Instead of pointing fingers going like, why are you reacting to me this way? What's your problem? What's your damage? How are you not measuring up in my eyes? To turn it around and say, oh no, what about me? What about my energy? What unprocessed stuff am I bringing that's causing the disconnection.
So the bottom line is you can't overpower someone into connecting with you. The vibe speaks louder than anything in the room, and it has to be an honest connection.
So remember, when your nervous system goes up, your connection with the other person will go down. So if you want more love, start by reducing the temperature in your own internal thermostat first before engaging.
So if you like this video, consider subscribing or forwarding it to someone who you think could use this message. And stay tuned, watch the next video, because we love talking about all things relationship.